And the very fact that there is an office to represent the India Research Initiatives and NUS clearly shows its interest in internationalization, particularly with India, and also on the research aspect. Okay, just to give you a brief idea about the university, it is more than 100-year-old university. It was founded in 1905 as a simple medical school, and over the years it has grown large, and now it has 16 faculties and schools ranging from the arts and social sciences, business, computing, law, medicine, business, and everything included. And next one, please. Now, coming to the student strength, it is also large. It is about 37,000 students, as you could see. Yeah, it's about 37,000 students, of which about 11,000 are graduate students. That clearly shows the emphasis that is placed on graduate research. In other words, 1 in 4 is a graduate student. And among the graduate students, more than 50% are international. Among the undergraduate students, we are up to about 20% are international students. That again clearly shows the importance that is given to the internationalization. In other words, NUS is a large and comprehensive research-intensive university. And the next one. And coming to the research excellence, about which we are supposed to be talking here, what is the evidence for the research excellence? There are a number of things what people start looking at it, like league tables, there's the world ranking, success in research grant competition, help in growing new industries, and help in encouraging the old industries, consultancies, and other things. All these things are equally important. The last but not the least is attracting excellent researchers who in turn attract excellent PhD students and inspire undergraduate students. So you could see a lot has been said about various things, but I will not be talking about all these things. I will only concentrate on the first aspect, that is the world ranking. And you can see, can you go back? Okay, this morning, out of the 5 speakers, 3 have referred about the National University of Singapore and its ranking. And particularly if you look at the Times Higher Education ranking, and due to the technical problem, the speaker could not present the details, but you could see the teaching, research, citations, industry income, and international outlook are the criteria that they have used. And if you look at the percentage, 70% goes for the research excellence, and internationalization. And coming to the National University of Singapore, it scores about 77.5 out of the 100. And you can see it ranks 29 in the world. And if you see particularly each category, international outlook, research, citations, all this comes into the top. Now, at this stage, I would like you to warn that it's not the number that matters, because the numbers could change from who is ranking and what is the criteria from time to time, but who are the universities or which are the universities that are in the same league. Now, if you see, for example, Georgia Institute of Technology, University of Texas at Austin, Tokyo, Melbourne, British Columbia, Wisconsin, Edinburgh, Urbana-Champaign, all these are in the same league of the universities. That's what I would say. And then coming to the another ranking, for example, because the numbers are not too important. Again, if you see, it is a QS ranking. The National University of Singapore ranks 25. Again, it is in par with the Australian National University or Northwestern University or University of Tokyo, and it is ranked 2 in Asia. Now, why university ranking? Obviously, they help us to tell whether university research is good and whether we are progressing year by year, and they help us to identify up-and-coming researchers and successful research fields, as well as underperforming areas. More importantly, they can help identify productive collaborations with other institutions which are at the same rank or similar rank. Now, there is always a criticism about these rankings, and again, I am one of them. Of course, rankings may not be perfect, but people do notice them. As you could see here, definitely at the end, this chief comes and asks his boss, his assistant, how do we do it? So again, he's just checking it. So there is both prospective staff, students, and governments start looking at these rankings. That's very important. Now, of course, the funding is very important. And fortunately, we are in a proper atmosphere. Coming to the funding from the Singapore side, We have a $7.4 billion spent in 2011 alone, 15% higher than the earlier year, and it is closer to what smaller countries like Denmark and Switzerland spend, and it is targeted to spend about 3.5% of the GDP by 2015, and when it is done, Singapore will be in par with the countries like Israel, Sweden, and Japan. And it is set to spend about $16.1 billion over the next 5 years, that is 20% more than in its last 5-year plan. So effectively, there is a lot of funding, the international collaborations do help, and we are looking for partners in securing this, and National University of Singapore gets a very good percentage of this competitive funding. Now, what is the research strategy of the National University of Singapore? Of course, we know that we cannot do everything together, and we would like to have a peaks of excellence, and we would have the multidisciplinary research and work with agencies in Singapore and elsewhere to get the good funding, and with industries, and partner strategically with overseas institutions for getting funding and for other reasons. And these are some of the university level research centers, and these are the centers of excellence. Again, you could see each center is about $150 million, and you could see quantum technologies, cancer, mechanobiology, and environmental. These are some of the areas. And coming to the internationalization, we have student exchange programs. We have about 1,600 students are sent every year to about 300 university partners in 40 different countries. And these are some of our partners in Europe, and these are in India and Asia. We have a partnership with 5 IITs, Bombay, Madras, Kanpur, Kagpur, and Delhi. And among the universities, University of Hyderabad is one, similarly several Chinese, Japanese, Australian universities. And these are our partners in North America, Caltech, Georgia Tech, etc. And we have these partnerships which leads us to several degrees, joint degrees. With the Duke University, we have the Duke NUS Graduate Medical School. With MIT, we have Singapore MIT Alliance. With Georgia Tech, we have Logistics Institute. With the Columbia and London School of Economics, Masters in Public Policy. With Harvard, Masters in Public Management. With Stanford Executive Development Program, and so on. In the last but not the least, we have more recently established Yale NUS College for Liberal Arts. And NUS also sponsors, as a part of its internationalization, major international conferences, particularly in encouraging interdisciplinary research. For example, on a materials conference, it hosts about 3,500 participants last year. Now, it believes in bringing the world to the NUS and taking the NUS to the world. And this is what you could see here. And in addition, we also have 7 overseas colleges. One of that is in India, in Bangalore. And this is where the students go and take the courses in our partner institutions, and at the same time work in leading companies. For example, in Bangalore, people work in information technology companies. And to sum up, NUS in numbers, we have about 219,000 graduate alumni. We have 3 campuses, 7 overseas colleges, 300 student exchange programs in 40 countries. We have over 37 students from 100 countries, and we have 70 double degrees, 35 joint degrees, and 162 master's and doctoral degree and graduate diploma programs. And coming to India research initiatives, about which most of you would be interested, we have several programs to encourage summer interns, faculty exchanges, and mostly from IITs, IIMs, Indian Institute of Science, and several universities. We run bilateral symposia with several universities and IITs. We have research collaborations with a number of universities. We have MOUs with 5 IITs, as I mentioned before, and University of Hyderabad. We also have a joint PhD program with 2 IITs, that is IIT Bombay and IIT Madras. And in conclusion, we believe in research excellence and internationalization, and we know that they are interrelated, they go together, and partnership with reputed universities is important, and student and staff exchanges, summer internships, joint degrees, and joint conferences help in internationalization. And of course, the National University of Singapore seeks international collaboration in its existing journey towards being a leading global university centered in Asia. Thank you for your attention.